Three, two, one, boom. So, hello and welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Abdul Sulayman, and you can probably tell by the title in this video, it's going to be a bit of a talking one rather than a highlight of heavy day training kind of thing. So I'm literally forcing myself to do this video because what tends to happen every single prep is I always have this grand plan of vlogging my prep series. My coach knows this very well, and people in my close circle know this. Training doesn't necessarily always go according to plan, and normally around the 6 week mark, give or take. Sometimes it varies, it might be early in the prep, something always happens. And if you've run a powerlifting program or powerlifting prep yourself where you have to balance outside work with training or anything external, university, studying, just because you have external factors playing into training, things might not exactly go according to plan. And so I have my grand plan of vlogging every single series. When things go not according to plan, this always throws me off. I go ghost mode on YouTube or social platforms for about 3 to 4 weeks, and then I get too tired. I can't spam a lot of content suddenly because one week I was squatting 260, the next week I'm squatting 310 or 300, give or take. So just to quickly brief you as to how life is going. Life is going okay at this moment right now. Last week was a bit tougher. So training based off my last video, which was the bench day, was going okay. I think that week I squatted 280 twice, 270 a few days after. I had a 280 squat, which moved okay. And then training was going okay that week. It was fine. Like I had a little, so before we get into the main story, I had a little game of, we have table tennis and work, right? You have some table tennis, play doing work sometimes. So after my competition in Arnold's, training was going okay afterwards. On a random Monday I was playing, went for a smash, felt my upper back tweak a little bit, kind of the top QL area. That was very sore for about a day, but went away. Was able to train fine that week. And then I had the irritation start creeping up after that 280 squat I just did, which I'd have shown you. Did a stretch on Monday, which was actually that video I posted last time, my last YouTube video. On that day I actually did a dowel press movement line on the floor, and I had like a muscle spasm in that area. And since that muscle spasm, that area has just been very inflamed and hard to low bar squatting. So I did what I could do. 280 moved fine. Lucky enough, I got invited to Gymshark, did some training there, met some amazing people. Jones was there, did like a 280 squat. Bro, hopefully you let me praise this because your squat is amazing, but 280 squat moved really good. Arulov was also there, 245 kg deadlift. Insane considering that's the heaviest deadlift in British powerlifting. The speed on this was ridiculous. Nathan was there. Kunle, or Kunz as most people know him, was also there. There were a lot of people, popular names, big people that were there. So it was a very good and nice training session. Doing that session myself, I did a 290 kg squat, irrespective of the pain. The pain was dulled in that moment, and especially I had a lot of caffeine in my system. So I was good. I was like very hyped. The crowd was right. 290 squat moved relatively comfortable. I took 190 for a few reps on bench, 2 singles with some backup works, and then I did some 320 kg deadlift. If you notice on that 320 kg deadlift, my face kind of grimaces like at the top a little bit. I'm just not comfortable, and I can feel a little bit, but it was fine. I was willing to work through it. So squatted 280 on a Monday, perfectly fine. SBD session, did 280, 190, 320. Pain level about 5-6 out of 10, but it is what it is. Fun day, happy, move on. So I had a training session on Monday. This is just going to be a slow storyline as to what's happened, and I'll show you the training videos as we go along. Monday I had a squat session, felt a lot more tired. I did a 180 bench, which moved okay, not too bad. Lower back, mid back was okay, not terribly terrible or anything, could train through it. Did squats the next day on Tuesday, 260 moved okay, but on this day I kind of had a bit of a mental I get into this loophole once in a while where I start critiquing my going through my technique and critiquing it heavily, because a lot of people while I was at Gymshark mentioned that my bar slants on one side when I squat. So I was really trying to work on this on that Tuesday session. Threw me off mentally. I was just trying to juggle too many things in my mind, because once you start trying to change your technique very like a heavy load, so basically if you've been doing something for a long period of time where I don't know when it started, it just throws you off mentally. The 260 didn't move the best, but it was okay. took it where it was. But then I decided, because I could only do 260 on that day, I really wanted to force the volume, you know, give my coach something. So I didn't do a heavy top set, but I really put in the work and then use that to leverage myself going forward, because we have Europeans coming very soon. Now, this is where I made another bad decision, because clearly I've gone heavy twice already. Vibes, you know, push training a bit. 260, I called a good audible. I didn't go super heavy, but because I'd been focused on my technique so much, I've taken a lot of warm-ups than I normally do. I've been really critiquing my form and everything, so headspace wasn't the best. I did a 220 triple afterwards, and I really felt that mid back area flare up. So I was like, this is not good. Let me call an audible and end the session. But the little part of my head goes, but you need to get that volume working. You need to push something. So I decided to go over to safety bar squat. Right, I stripped the bar, go over to safety bar squats. 70 feels amazing, no low back pain. 120 to 170 moves fine. I'm like, you know what? Let's go. Put my belt back on. Let's get some volume work on the safety bar squats. At this point, I should have gone and left this session because my back was flared up from an earlier point, but I ignored that and decided to carry on. So squatted, safety bar, loaded up to 240 kg. Now, the weight wasn't a problem. The only problem is, because I wasn't used to squatting with a safety bar, I was very rounded over to an extent. So I went down on the first rep, moved comfortable. Second rep, moved comfortable. I'll show you the video. On the third rep, I went down into the hole. For some reason, I've got the thick SPD belt. Now that shifted in the bottom of the hole, went underneath my rib, and as soon as I stood up, popped itself through. So it's like this, it was this weird going into my gut and then popping through the rib very aggressively to come back out. And that did not feel nice at all. And that brings me to the situation I'm currently in, where it's just been one thing to another. And like, I've just made a few back chassis myself, which has just derailed training a little bit. So update, could only do that 260 squat, left the session there. I could deadlift successfully, but I couldn't use a belt because that area of my rib is very inflamed right now. Pulled 320 beltless, but I have no film of it because I forgot to press record. But here's a very quick 270 kg pull. This week again, I try to 4 squats, go with my belt, you know, because I do really need to like put some weight in the bar. That's what I'm thinking if I want to do Euros. But I was just overstretching myself, and my coach basically said, I can't push right now. There's nothing I can do. We can focus on beltless squats. So I was able to successfully squat 260 kg without a belt on Tuesday actually, which was good because considering last week, my best score was 260 kg. This week it's still 60 without a belt. And I probably won't be able to use a belt throughout majority of this prep, even though there's only about 5 weeks left. So it was a very interesting headspace to be, especially coming off Arnold's, where my squats didn't go according to plan. I missed 320 kg when I'd previously squatted 322. Having to deal with this debacle, whatever you want to call this whole situation, really threw me off last week, like massively. And normally I do have things that happen in prep that will throw me off, and I'll just kind of go ghost mode. But I decided to record and tell you guys what's going on and show you some videos. So yeah, training's going okay. I'm going to be squatting without a belt. I'm going to be deadlifting without a belt, but bench is going really good. I had a 180 single this week. See if I can go for something nice and heavy tomorrow maybe, but don't over push or strain myself any more than I need to. But I'm still committed to the Euros prep. Reaffirmed that I'm going to make it irrespective, but it's just a talk. Like, shit happens during prep. And sometimes you feel like it's the end of the world, but if you can still squat, bench and deadlift, you can still make progress based off the last week. So rather than looking where am I compared to last prep or where I wanted to be in this prep, like last week my best score was 260 and I was in a bit of pain. This week my best score is 260, less pain without a belt. So I'm making progress. I'll see how much I can push my beltless squats and then let the rib pain die down, and then reintroduce the belt back. Hopefully it's not on comp day. I can reintroduce at least a week or two before comp itself, but it is what it is. Realistically speaking, I'm not going to get a lot stronger within the last 2 weeks of Arnold's prep. I've put in a lot of work over the last few months, gradually over time. My whole goal would just be to try and prepare my body to peak if I can. And that's it, and just have fun. realistically speaking, I will be going up against some absolute monsters of Europeans, which will be fun. So I'm going to try my best to push training. We've done a 260 beltless squat, see what we can do next week. We're reasonable, but also push ourselves where we can, and also be careful of my upper back and try and treat that, make sure it gets sorted out. It's like top QL area. So hopefully I'm going to see a physiotherapist and a massage person. I think it's just irritation from playing table tennis. You know, you're getting old at this point. Like, my body's becoming so powerlifting primed that anything outside of powerlifting is basically just dangerous at this point. But that's the video itself. There's no crazy lifting, there's no massive fun. Maybe the bench, I'll try and vlog that. Maybe, not entirely sure yet. But just take it easy, record it at home. It's nice and chill in here, update you with the videos and everything. And sometimes, back to the main message, shit happens during prep. I'm just going to try and keep on working through it, and hopefully we can get to Euros and I can keep on updating you on those videos. Please do let me know if you enjoy the content. If you've had any horror stories yourself, if you've injured your rib, please give me some advice down in the comments, because I need it a lot. Shaved my head, you know. Also trying to be a new man for this prep, because this prep is challenging the shit out of me. But we will make it to the end irrespective. We'll put up a good performance that we'll be proud of, based off the amount of work and what we've had to deal with in this prep. But it should still be fun. So yeah, I'll catch you guys next week, and hopefully we're more positive. A more positive video. But yeah, thank you so much. Hope you enjoy this one. It's a bit of a random quick one, but again, thank you. Subscribe, like, comment. We're very, very close to 1K, which is insane. Like, 1K subscribers is massive, bro. Like, it's insane. But thank you so much for subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.